Shwmae Ffrindiau! Let's get back into building in Planet Zoo. And I am continuing in the Planet Diorama, which if you haven't seen any of the others, this is a fictional, futuristic diorama of Mars. But today I'm going to be doing a special Halloween build. I'm also doing some short mini builds as well for Halloween, so if you haven't seen any of those, check them out. But every year I do a special Halloween build, and this year is going to be for the Tasmanian Devils. And the Tasmanian Devils got their name from their scream, which is loud and unearthly, and it came from the early settlers who thought of demons hiding in the bushlands. So of course, demons, Tasmanian devil. I'm building a habitat inspired by hell. I like fictional paranormal books that talk about different dimensions, like different realms, and I've read plenty of books with demons in. Hello. Massive Shadowhunter fan here. It's fun to get some inspiration from that type of thing. So this is going to be a hell themed habitat, but not in the way that you're thinking. There's no like eternal damnation for these animals. They're gonna be pretty happy in here. So this habitat's going to be dug into the planet, so it's like under the ground. I have actually allowed guests to come to the zoo, and they need to descend along the side of the planet to go into the core where the habitat is. And it's all like a nice little cave at the moment. Doing the habitat barriers, I'm trying to get like the gate in, was kind of tricky because I completely forgot that the staff members need to actually get to the habitat too, and you can't just have a gate floating, it needs to be on the ground. So I needed to make another like hidden path at the back of the cave as well for the staff members to be able to get to the habitat. I'm going to try and hide that a little bit as well. So I was like playing around with the new Oceania objects, obviously very fun, thoroughly enjoying that. And I found these like lava brick blocks. I don't even know what they're called. They look cool. So I was going for like a volcanic lava feel because it was just far too cheerful. Even though I picked quite a dark patterned path, I picked this for the railing more than anything because I really like the railing style for this one. I wanted it simple but dark, and I'm going to end up customizing that even more. But I'm using these blocks to cover the path, and because these blocks are quite chunky as well, finally I actually appreciate them being a bit bigger than normal. I covered the bottom of the path as well, so when we're in the habitat looking at the Tasmanian Devils, you can't see that white underside of the path. And because this build is not aligned to the world axis at all, I know, completely against all of my like building tips, I've had to get a little bit more creative with duplicating things with advanced move. So I'm actually using a lot of the new advanced move tool bit, like going in between the two colours, and it's actually helping quite a lot with these builds because I still want it to be on like a certain level, but I want to move it more than just like forward and back. I need to move it diagonally. I still wish that there was an option to completely make this perfectly diagonal, and when you click in the center, keep it perfectly diagonal, instead of, you know, moving it which way you want to move it. For hell, there's not a lot of fire. This is too much fun. Not enough fire for hell, come on. I love Halloween. Oh. So I'm actually using the Twilight Pack wall. Are they wall sconces? I can't remember. The Twilight Pack fire is completely different to the South America fire. Like the fire torches. I was going to use those ones because I've used those in the past to make like fire. But the Twilight Pack fire effect is so much better than the one from the South America, which like is kind of understandable because South America pack was one of the first ones. So I've connected all of the little torches on top of the path supports, and then I've used the buoy, or as Americans would call them buoys, to cover the path supports, and made them black and red as well, because that is going to go for the whole theme. Not for me. I did try to do a red background, but the colour balance was so off with red here instead of purple, because obviously everything else is kind of purple. My hair, the lights this way. So I still went for a bat theme. The jumper does have a bat on it as well. You just can't see because of my hair. Let me lift it. You never really see how long my hair is either because of the thing, but it is a bat. I had a little bit of fun decorating for Halloween. That is new. I got that from Hobbycraft. No idea where I got the floating bats from. I did have those up last year as well. And just lots of pumpkins. I've got a cat pumpkin, black and white pumpkins that I got new this year, and pumpkins with a cat sat on top of it, and then obviously Jack and Zero, who chill up there all the time, and Jack and Sally, which I cross-stitched myself. Oh, and little spiders, which you can sort of see one of the spiders just by the bat, which I thought was just adorable. They have little googly eyes. My cat, Cariad, absolutely loves these bats. She's fascinated by them, but like, you gotta keep an eye on her, because I really do think the cat will launch herself to catch these bats. Her favourite thing is moths though. I think it'd be nice for you to see Cariad again. I'll bring her out. Let's go get the kitten. And she's still technically a kitten because she's only 9 months old. And she has a Halloween bandana on. She does not like my lipstick. Look at that bandana! Doesn't she look cute? My big kitten. Yes. She is sleepy. She was sleeping. Oh. What is that? What's that? Oh, she's so cute. Happy Halloween! There she is. Unimpressed.
Nope.
Happy Halloween! Just cat things. Goodbye, Mum. Where are you going? Oh. Alright. The lava was heavily inspired, to start with, by Little Nicky and the gate that they all go through to go back up to Earth. If you haven't seen it, it is a good laugh. Some things are slightly not what would be published now. It is an old film. Well, the gate into where Nicky lived was like a fire gate, and that freezes over. So that's kind of what I had in mind for the entrance of this. I also used the Tasmanian devil statue as like it's looking down over the entrance as like a hint to the fact that this is going to be for the Tasmanian devils, but there was some kind of decoration above the gate on Little Nicky, and I think it was supposed to be a goat. I've used the South America torch thing, so it looks like it's breathing fire over onto the guests. You can see the staff members walking to and from, so that would be the same kind of effect. What are your favourite Halloween traditions? Do you like going to pumpkin patches, carving pumpkins? I love making pumpkins look really cute. I love giving them tiny little faces. One year I did like a tiny face with a little smile and just one tiny little baby fang. I love that. I make cats, like I've got a cat pumpkin there, but that one's plastic. And I love the smell that you get when you light a candle in a real pumpkin. Nothing better to take you into the Halloween vibe than putting a little tea light candle in a pumpkin and giving like that pumpkin smell. And I love watching like spooky films and things like that. I've been watching the Haunting series on Netflix. What was the manor called? There was Hill House, and then the manor was the more recent one, right? I don't know, Hill House was better. The Edgar Allan Poe one then. that everyone's saying not to watch. The Fall of the House of Usher. I've just finished that as well. I still think Hill House is probably the best for like spooky vibes. Again, I've forgotten the name of it. The Shining sequel. Yes, Doctor Sleep was so good. Like better than The Shining, if I'm honest. But then if you're like not into films or TV series, Sam and Colby are doing the Conjuring House series, and I've watched the first one of those, which I'm guessing there's more by the time I've posted this, but I've only watched episode 1 from the Conjuring House series. Ooh, so good. The amount of physical paranormal activity, like poltergeist activity from that first one. Fun. Just all of the spooky things. I'm like, ah yes, Halloween vibes. Let's talk about scary films. So I've gone on to do the lava waterfall, going from the entrance, the guest's entrance of the cave, down the back wall of the habitat, and now I've created like a nice little river going through the center of the habitat. And in the early morning, the sun hits just right on this habitat and it causes all of the lava rocks to absolutely glow, and this just makes it feel so much more realistic than the rocks in the middle of the day. But look how it glows. This looks like real lava. Somehow making this Halloween hell themed habitat, I make the most realistic habitat that I've probably ever made. Because even doing the volcano for the Komodo dragon doesn't look this cool. I kind of want to go back to my volcano for the Komodo dragon and add these rocks in, because it looks so much better than the ones that I used. And then I'm going to cover the whole ground in just the like grey black rocks then. So it looks like maybe this whole place was covered in lava at one point, but it's sort of set up around the edges. All of this, because it's only rocks, is walkable, navigatable. When you can read a word and spell a word but you can't actually say the word, navigable. No, that's not it, is it? They can get around fine. It's fine. All of this looks very dangerous and very scary, very Halloween-y. But no, the Tasmania devils can get around. Even the staff can walk on top of this. But of course they need food and water as well, and I didn't want their food and water to stand out too much in the habitat. So I've used the rocks to blend the food and water into the habitat. To hide the habitat gate, I've used the lava rocks again. Otherwise we're going to have like this floating gate, and I wasn't really happy with that. Sometimes I just ignore the gates, but because this habitat you're kind of going to be looking towards that area quite a lot, I just thought I'd blend it in with the guest's path above it. I wish we could recolor the habitat gates. I thought we could, but you can only really recolor the barriers. And I wanted to put a couple of stalactites on the ceiling. And some of these stalactites kind of look like rotten teeth. And that really went with the Halloween theme, because no one likes the dentist. It just looks like rotten teeth, especially those bigger ones. Just gives that a little bit of an extra detail around the top of the habitat, just for decorative purposes, for like the guests to see. A lot of this is like focused on the guests rather than the animals. Aesthetic as well, isn't it? So like the stalactites around some of the corners and on the ceiling to say Happy Halloween in Welsh. It is Nos Galan Gaeaf Hapus, which actually means the eve of the first day of winter. Finally, I wanted to do some education and donation bins for the guests as well, because this is going to be like a guest experience area. I didn't want to do anything too fancy for the education boards, but for the donation bins, this really tickled me. It's like I was setting money on fire. So I've used the Twilight braziers. I think they're the braziers. It's just one of those like fire things from the Twilight pack, and I've used those as like a metal cage for the donation bins. So the guests will have to literally put their hand in fire to give us money in this zoo. Like realistically, no one's going to be doing that. But it looks good. Completely hides the donation bins and it fits in with the vibe. And having the light off, like pressing L on the keyboard off, makes the fire look so cool in this area. Just this whole habitat is so fun. I love it. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini series for the Mars Planet Diorama, Space Diorama. I do think I might continue in this, maybe do a restaurant, something like that, I don't know. I was hoping that other people would carry on in this challenge and play and build on this diorama as well, but no one has done one. And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad. It's fine. It was just something that I thought maybe other people might enjoy. If you didn't, you didn't. That's okay. That no one wanted to do it. I don't really mind. I'm gonna carry on building on it anyway, and I've had a lot of fun building on this diorama, but I kind of do want to maybe go back into the Twilight Zoo and do a couple more habitats. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Honestly, I don't know, but I did have fun doing this spooky Halloween themed build for the Tasmanian Devils. Let me know what animal I should build a habitat for next. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already and you would like to, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload long form videos on Wednesdays and short form tutorials on Sundays, usually. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Goodbye!